couple things. First off, hats off to Illinois. That's not Illinois of old. Shauna and her staff, have those kids playing hard, playing well, playing discipline. By far the best defensive team we faced. Have a lot of interesting pieces, can shoot it. Certainly are athletic, attack, play aggressive. And so, they're new to the big, and they're doing a great job. So, and they're a great, Shauna's a great addition to this league, and it's just going to make it even more difficult than what it is. But really proud of our group. This was a game that we certainly had to fight and claw and scratch, just to get to the end and get to a victory. On a night that we didn't shoot it particularly well, but we're going to have nights like that. They all can't be like the North Carolina nights where everything goes in for us. You got to find different ways to score the ball, but also, you just have to kind of get grimy and you hope that your grit shows up and you make just enough plays, to win the game. They certainly hurt us on the boards. They required double coverage from us, especially with Cook. How well she was really good tonight. She was cooking, and down the rails, and that required us to have rotations, and then we were giving up rebounds. So we got to get that cleaned up as we move forward. But I thought. Chloe once again did a great job, I thought, of keeping us, showed some great composure, with the ball out on the top on a night where Yarden didn't play great. I thought Hannah came in and gave us great minutes defensively. I thought she did a tremendous job on the McKenzie kid, number 24. This is one of those games, and as we said to our players, anytime you have a number by your name, you're the opponent's biggest game, and so we better get used to this territory because, as I said to him, everybody's coming after you, and so we handled ourselves in the right kind of way. Certainly we made it a 40-minute game and had just enough, like I said, enough stops in us at the end to get the win tonight.
Matt Seabree, Indiana Daily Student. Alyssa Gary was on the bench in a boot today. What is her injury, and how long do you expect to have her out for?
So she tweaked her ankle yesterday in practice, and so she'll be day-to-day, but she'll be back.
How big was the crowd today? It was 5,900, I think. In North Carolina, it was well over 5,000, 5,300 today. How big is that to have them engaged late with all this when you were making stops?
Ari, it's great. They were tremendous, in our win against North Carolina. We were hopeful that they would, show up on a 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon as well. So they're so important to, the success that we've been able to have. And, we certainly enjoy sharing it with them. But, they were, once again, offering enthusiasm and energy, and you could tell they were trying to will us, to this win.
Coach, you have 2 transfers and a freshman out there, both starting and finishing out a very tight game. Like, how important was it for that group to realize that they can do that they can close a tough game like this?
Well, Sarah and Sydney have certainly played in big games. Sid with the Pack when she's at Oregon, and Sarah again in the big. So, this isn't foreign to either one of them in terms of the magnitude of the game and the back and forth, big games, tight games. All of it, and Yarden is a young lady that, as I've said, is wise beyond her years, and she does not play like a freshman, and so there's a lot of trust with Yarden, and we see that in practice every day, and we've seen it. It just today was one of those days for Yarden. It just seemed like she couldn't get anything going offensively, and she gets in foul trouble. That's one of the things we've got to, she can't get in foul trouble for us right now, and especially with us being a guard down with Grace, she's just going to have to be more disciplined and we got to keep her out there.
Coach, can you talk about Cook's performance and what it was that allowed her to pick apart your defense, and then how you handle that down the stretch in the fourth quarter?
Well, one, she's she can score at 3 levels. She's obviously the quickest kid that we've probably faced in terms of being able to go off of that high ball screen the way she was, with different kind of wiggle. And she has a soft jump shot. She certainly can get to the rim. You just hope that, your plugs are good enough, max rotation. Towards the end, I thought, her rotating, max long and, was helpful. But, as I said, she was cooking, no point in ten, with her last name being Cook, but she was really, really good today. And, you face players like that you just can't figure out, an answer for them. You just hope that you can keep the rest of them quiet. And we did a decent job of that, but, hats off to her. She was really, really, she's a great addition for them.
Coach, congratulations on
Thanks,
the win. Sarah didn't put up a whole lot of points tonight in comparison to recent games, but in the fourth quarter she had 2 drives in the paint, each breaking up an offensive drought for you guys. That first one especially important with about 7 and a couple seconds left in the fourth quarter. That drive stopped a scoring route, 6-0 run. How important was that to get on the board and to make an impact again?
Yeah, and she had 6 assists, right? So she leads us in assists tonight. And so, the great players figure stuff out like that. They understand that, on a night where perhaps the shot's not going down as easy as it was the other night, there's always ways to impact the game. And I thought that she decided that she was gonna stay aggressive at the rim, but she also facilitated. And our assists were a little bit down tonight in terms of we've been in the 20s, but I was really proud of the way that on a night where she it was hard to get her looks too. They did a great job. I mean, let's give them credit. They were really good defensively. And I think put a lot of pressure on her. And but she found other ways, to help us. And 6 assists, 6 rebounds. So that's what you need. You need players on nights when the shot's not falling to figure out there's still other things that they can do.
We're gonna go to a Zoom question. Sue from Women's Hoops World. Sue, go ahead.
Hi, Sue.
Coach, what's your feeling on a game like this? Do you feel like this is a comeuppance for the Hoosiers, or do you feel like this is a game that's good to have early in the season because it can teach you some lessons going forward?
Well, every game teaches us lots of lessons, and this one will be no different. And so we'll go back and there's going to be plenty of things to show them. But, I'm going to say it again, people are going to come after us, Sue, and they're going to bring their very best. And, we have to adjust, and we sort of have to embrace this. But the other thing, too, is, and again, I don't want people to forget, we're playing with what I think is an All-American, a pro in Grace Berger. And so, give our kids, these kids that are playing right now, credit for figuring out how to play with our best player. I mean, let's just be honest. Outside of Mackenzie, Grace is, so good in so many instances, from her ability to facilitate to her ability to put pressure on people, with whether she's posting up, whether she's coming off ball screens with her unbelievable, handle that she has, and making easy plays. She makes everybody around her better. And so we're trying to still figure out, although we were good the other night, there's still I think a learning curve to us figuring out how to play without Grace, because she's been our point guard, since we started this back in August or back in when we started practice. And so, I think we're still trying to figure out some things, but I'm sure I'm proud of this group because, this is a really good Illinois team, and I'm not taking anything away from them. We'll certainly learn something, but on the other side of that, I'm really, really proud that we found a way, and I'm really happy for our players because they had to make some gutsy plays at the end, I thought they did a good job of figuring out how to close the game.
Matt and then Audrey.
You guys struggled kind of rebounding the ball in the first half, but then in the second half won the rebounding battle. What
Yeah.
adjustments were made, and how much did Gary's absence kind of factor into that?
Well, I don't know that her absence factored into that. I just think that, in the first half, I thought Bostic did a great job of just being around the basket. Again, number 3, Cook puts pressure on you, right? Because she requires another, person to rotate over. And Chloe did a great job on her, but she required a double coverage tonight. And anytime you rotate over, then everybody else has to rotate over. But then the other thing that they do to you is that when they got kids that can shoot it the way they can shoot it, you don't want to run off and leave them either, because then you're susceptible to Cook coming down and, oh, by the way, kicking that thing out to kids that can knock down the long ball. So that's how they put pressure on you. But we had a discussion at halftime. I just pointed out that they were +9 on the boards at that point, and we needed our guards. We needed Scalia to get in there and Yarden to get in there. And I thought Sid had a double-double. She had 10 rebounds for us tonight. She really did a good job of getting in there, especially late as the game progressed. But I think it's just a matter of don't worry, AG will be back.
Audrey Hausberger,
Hey,
IOS TV.
Audrey.
You just kind of mentioned your players got this win without Graceberger in a tense situation. What do you think this does for their mentality and their confidence going forward?
Well, I think a lot of has happened since Vegas, right, when she went down. I mean, I think we've had to grow up. I think we've had to figure out, especially Chloe. We don't talk about Chloe enough. It's hard in our system to be able to be the point guard of the Indiana women's basketball team because we run so much. For Chloe to be able to slide over and run this basketball team has been incredible. I can't tell you how proud I am of her. And then once we got back from Vegas, it was like a crash course in being the point guard here, right? With all the number of sets that we run, and so I think she's just continued to show great leadership out on the floor. She's showed great composure. She's been aggressive for us, offensively, and so this group has been resilient. They've showed a great amount of toughness, of their chemistry. When they've had to make plays, they figured out how to make plays, and so as we move forward, we'll get better inside of every game. Lily will come in and she's going to get better, and I think Lexi will get better. We've seen Henna be able to contribute. All of these kids right now in Grace's absence are going to get better, and that's really good for our team.